felon? Got community service?
Isupk can help you with that. For sure. Come on down to 12355 Gresham, and we can help you all with your community service and your felony expungement, man. Isupk Detroit. Google it.
Fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitching and crying, and I'm saying fuck that fucking job, nigga. Hey, fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, bitch, I done had enough. Fuck that fucking job, I'm watching everybody work. Fuck that fucking job, that little pay by the hour. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, my back hurting and I'm hungry. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, nigga, on soul. Yeah, caught between the two, get this money, go home. Yeah, all these people so, now these bitches, they messy. First day I came in, I bossed up on the bosses. And they promise nigga this, promise nigga that. Want my ass to work, then bring that paper back. Sean, where you been? I been taking the shit. Knowing damn well that I don't fucking sleep. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitching and crying, and I'm saying fuck that fucking job, nigga. Hey, fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, me and bro, we just posted. Look him in the eye, shake my head disappointed. We gotta visualize, summarize, execute. All these people dropping like fly, why the fuck we still here? Man, fuck that fucking job, when I pull up, I hate it. Yeah, fuck that fucking job, that's on all of their faces. Fuck that fucking job, man, I'm already lit. Man, I hear one thing, boy, you bound to get hit. Man, these bills cross a nigga's brain. Damn, that's how you keep a nigga damn a slave. Damn, money supposed to be a tool. Damn, for a purpose, what's your purpose for? Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. Fuck that fucking job, boy, I'm sick and I'm tired. Fuck that fucking job, all that bitching and crying, and I'm saying fuck that fucking job, nigga. Fuck that fucking job, bitch. Fuck that fucking job, we gon' be rich tomorrow. Fuck that fucking job, it ain't no more applying. You know what I'm talking about? I'm sick of that shit. I know you sick of it too, man. Money supposed to be a tool, but what's your purpose though? It's supposed to benefit a purpose. Shout out Boom Man now.
How was Shah Barakathum? How was Shema Alathaba Hashem? How was Shah? We got the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Back in 19, under commanding general, go out the earth, teaching the true Bible. Simply facts, so-called Hispanics from Indian, fact, the lost children of Israel, the same Israel that you find in your Bible down in Egypt where Moses, Pharaoh, let my people. Officer 1000 Shah out of Detroit with the history. Mighty man, that mighty man, 5,000. Night's class, difference. Holidays, holy day. There is definitely a big difference. So, first of all, right over here to scriptures. If you would, go with me to Leviticus. Leviticus, say chapter 20. Hope you got your pen, got your paper out. Because you're always learning. Chapter 23. Leviticus chapter 23, beginning at verse. Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, 2. Speak unto the children of Israel. We're going to stop right because, well, let's read a little bit more. See if he's talking to anybody else besides Israel. Speak unto the children of Israel, say unto them concerning the feast of the Lord, which ye shall proclaim to be holy convocations, even these are my. So right here we see that the Most High is not talking to any other people on the face of the earth except for the children of Israel. That's who the Most High is speaking to right now. Only the children of Israel. They speak to them and say unto them concerning what? The feast of the Lord, which shall be proclaimed to be holy convocations, are my feast. Now, these holy convocations, these feasts, these are particular days and time periods. Days and time periods that the Most High requires Israel, us, come back, celebrate. Now, Israel or these other people, but you understand, we left Egypt, found ourselves around other nations that types of keeping certain types of days or holidays. Like here, sir. Certain types of days. Why is that important today? That's important today simply because in America, England, wherever you find Israelites, in the countries, different nations under which Israelites have been placed in captivity, so us Israelites have been taught, observe our oppressors' holiday. Now here's one of the main problems with observing oppressors' holiday. Most High does not want to do that. Ben told us, don't be like the people who find ourselves. See that? Ben told us, don't do that. That's why when we came out of Egypt, a lot of those nations, he holy. Ran them off, got them away from us. We didn't do it. Most High did it. Man. Most High did. Because without the Most High, we don't win battles. We don't win in nothing. We are like led to a slaughter. Our only strength, obeying the law, statute, and commandments. He's been told that if you keep my commandments, listen to me diligently, I'll place you on top. I'll place you on top of the world, and I'll make sure everybody else is subject to you. Deuteronomy 28 didn't do that. He gave us these holy days in Leviticus. In fact, let's go on over here to Deuteronomy. Quick. Deuteronomy 28, and we're going to start right at verse. I hope you're writing these down. See, in Leviticus 23, he gave us holy days. October, it's September. It's holiday after holiday. September, what we had? Memorial Day. Every day. October come around. Columbus Day. Israelites in America. People was at the store celebrating Black Friday. It was celebrating Black Friday. We have no business doing that. And let me show you something. If, in fact, Israelites alone, so-called black, so-called Hispanic, so-called Native American, if we alone just did not participate in this damn thing called Black Friday and Christmas shopping, do you know the majority of big box stores go out of business? You understand? They will cease to exist. Why? Because they run in the red all year. They run on a deficit all year. And when you shop at these places, when you do the Black Friday sales and all of that, you know what you're doing? You're complicit in your own captivity. You're complicit in your own oppression because you're celebrating your enemy's holidays. You understand? You're celebrating your enemy's holidays. And we're coming after Thanksgiving. Black Friday, after Black Friday, then you got what? The 12 days of Christmas, and then you got Christmas, and then you come around to New Year's Eve, and then you come around to New Year's. Let me show you something. Of the holidays, in this country anyway, every last one of them originates somewhere in paganism. I don't care if it's your birthday, if it's Valentine's Day, if it's New Year's, if it's Christmas, if it's Easter, if it's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving originates in I don't know what to call that. As we understand it in America, there's always been some pagan form of Thanksgiving. But this garbage we practice in America is just utterly sick. It's totally sick. Think about this. Let's see if we can bring it on home. Let's say you got a family. You the great-grandpa and the great-grandma, right? And none of y'all got 4 grandparents, and none of the grandparents got a whole set of parents, and none of the parents got a whole set of children, all right? A whole set of children. And you all live in the same geographical location. Then along comes some other group of people that attacks and murder 70% of your people. So that means if it was 100 of y'all living in one location, 70 of y'all are murdered. Just flat out murdered. And then a year down the road, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years down the road, these people have developed a habit of celebrating a day of thanks on the day they murdered your almost entire family. And then they have the audacity. To do what? To invite you or to require you to celebrate it that same day of thanks with them. How sick is that? Wouldn't you want to kill everybody associated with that? Wouldn't you want to unalive everybody associated with that? You see. That's a holiday in America. They unalived 77 million Native Americans. Put I don't know how many others into slavery. You see. They got every twist and spin on why they should not be held accountable. But they're going to be held accountable. And then they call it Thanksgiving. See that? The day that they and what they're celebrating is unaliving our brothers and sisters. See that? Unaliving the tribe of Gad and Dan. They unalived these brothers and sisters. See that? Native American Indian, North American Indian. They unalived the Seminoles, Indian. They unalived the Cherokees. They unalived the Apache, the Arapaho. And it goes on and on and on. Here in Detroit, you know, we got names like Seneca and Samoya. I can't even think of the name. It gets me upset when I think about it. We got a little town called Indian Village. Names of the streets are all Native American tribe names. And that's between here where I'm at the school and even and where I stay at a lot. Mohican, all these are names, Sequoia. These are names of streets, but these are also Native American names. And this is what they do. They unalive our people and take our people's names and put them on street signs and put their names on sports teams. It used to be like the Kansas City Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? That's an insult. See that? That's an insult. Used to be the Washington Generals. Now used to be the Washington Redskins. See that? They kill our chiefs. They kill our people. And then they take our names and put it on their stuff to make it commercialized. Which is a slap in the face of the Most High to do his children like. So they're going to pay. Deuteronomy 28:1, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command you this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations on the earth. Now, this is why we don't even need an army with guns and stuff like that right now, because our power is the Most High. If we but obey his law, statutes, and commandments, he'll keep his promise and set us on high above all nations upon the earth. In fact, when Solomon was king, when David was king, you understand, when David and Solomon was king, you know, we couldn't be touched as a nation. We couldn't be touched as a nation. The Most High blessed us. The world knew about us. Since the time of Moses, the world understood, don't mess with Israel. They have a God. Don't mess with Israel, because Israel has a God that will destroy you. We didn't have an army full of men that attacked the Egyptians when we left Egypt. The Most High destroyed Egypt. You understand? But because you, or us, I'm going to say because we are so busy trying to be like our oppressors, beginning with his so-called holidays, even those that we know are absolutely wrong. So you got some questions about some. But watch this. I'm going to start with one that's very obvious. Let's go back over to Leviticus 23. This is very obvious. Okay? We're at verse 3. 6 days shall work be done. This is Leviticus 23. 6 days shall work be done, but the seventh day is the Sabbath rest. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of rest and holy convocation. Ye shall do no work therein. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwellings. That's the first one, is the Sabbath. From Friday sundown until Saturday sundown. All right? This is why we keep it in Israel. This is why in the Isupk, under Commander General Yohana, we celebrate the Sabbath. We observe Sabbath. Some people will call us Sabbath keepers. Let me ask you a question. Why do you keep Sunday? Why do this holy, y'all say the holy day of the Most High is Sunday? Got a clue? Feel free to chime in the chat room. Why do you keep Sunday? I'm going to do, my eyes are cooperate, STU. I'm going to look up Sunday in Donovan Bible Dictionary, see if it even appears in there. Right? We'll see if it even appears. The Sunday. Back here. But to get it in a bigger form. So, now watch this now. This is real interesting. Real interesting. The name Sunday, and this is from the generative AI from Google. The name Sunday comes from the Old English word Sunain Day, which means day of the sun. The name comes from the time when pre-Christian Anglo-Saxons and other Germanic people worshiped the sun on Sunday. Are you understanding what I'm saying? You go to church on a day, in Latin it's called the Venerable Day of the Sun. In the Catholic Church, it's called the Venerable Day of the Sun. You go to church on the first day of the week. You hold holy the first day of the week because the people that taught you that, the people that brought you Christianity, right, were pagans. And they literally worship the sun. That's why the first day of the week is called the Venerable Day of the Sun. It's the day they dedicated to the sun. And now they have you, the children of the Most High, the people called by the Most High's name. They got you bowing down. Every time you walk into church the first day of the week, you're bowing your knee to the sun god. See what I'm saying? And they try to get you with semantics, talking about S-O-N, not S-U-N. Stop it. It's sun worship. Just walking into First Baptist, St. Joe Episcopal, whoever, Pentecostal, Church of God, all of it is sun worship. Every time you go to church, on the first day of the week, or you in that system, you keep yourself in that system that worship on the first day of the week, and we're talking, this is a holiday, don't get it wrong. It's one of their holidays. Why do you think the banks are not open on Sunday? Why do you think the post office is not open on Sunday? Listen to this. Exodus 20 around verse 8. It's the fourth commandment. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days should you labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor the stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. That means he blessed it, he set it aside as holy. As a day to be set aside away from every other day of the week. And so what would not be going on? We wouldn't have any of our businesses open on the Sabbath day. The banks would be closed, government offices would be shut down. The only thing to go on is Sabbath service, and then you'd be released to do what you want to do. It's your day. Habashah say the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. So after Sabbath service, you go do what you want to do. You rest. Recreate, do what you want to do, you see. But in this kingdom, in this hell we live in the oppressor's heaven, this is the oppressor's heaven. What? All of that is reserved for what day of the week? The first day of the week. It's all reserved for the first day of the week. And as you can see, even their Sunday worship come from the pre-Christian Anglo-Saxon and other Germanic people who worship the sun. Pagans, just like the Babylonians. So the first holy day we teach is the Sabbath, and we comparing that right with the first day of the week. Are you going to church and call yourself worshiping the Most High on Sunday? You ain't worshiping the Most High. You know why? Because the Most High don't hear you. I don't know what you're doing. I can guarantee you the Most High is not hearing. He say, I will not smell in your assemblies. He don't like when you do that. It's an abomination. As far as he's concerned, it's an abomination what you do, Israelites. And don't get me wrong. We don't care what any other people do. If you Ishmaelite, and whatever you want to do, you want to go to Ramadan and all, help yourself. You're an Ishmaelite. If you're an Edomite, man, you want to go to Disney World, go ahead. Have a great time. You want to take every Sunday and shoot fireworks and all that, have at it. Do your thing. Do your thing. But so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you need to leave America alone. You need to leave the rest of the world alone with that nonsense, with that Catholicism. You understand? And down there in Central and South America, man, walk away from the Catholic Church. Just walk away from it, man. Up here, walk away from the Baptist Church. Down south, definitely just get the hell away from the Baptist Church. And if you don't know where to go, look it up in your city or the closest big city to you, right? ISUPK, your city. You understand? ISUPK Nashville, ISUPK Louisville, ISUPK Indianapolis, ISUPK Southern California, ISUPK Northern California. How about ISUPK DC? How about ISUPK Atlanta? Just ISUPK Detroit, Chicago. How about just look it up? If you love God as much as you say you do, because all of y'all, I mean, you can't go to a damn football game, baseball game or basketball game without somebody raising up in the stand this sign that say John 3:16. Y'all got that even mixed up. But God loves everybody. No, he don't. We'll get to that next time. But no, he doesn't. Does not love everybody. Stop it. If you believe John 3:16 means God loves everybody on the face of this earth, you are more stupid than we ever dreamed. Matter of fact, I'm going to hit that just for a little bit. What I'm going to have you do is open up your Bible, and I want you to go to John 3:14. I want you to go to John 3:14. I'm just going to show you how silly you are. How much and it ain't your fault. It ain't your fault. Your pastors, man, they're going to pay. They're going to pay. They don't know that scripture that said whoever break these commandments and teach other people to break these commandments, he's going to be the least in the kingdom of heaven. Your pastor, what you got, sir? We're going to John 3, and we're going to go to verse 14. See, y'all want to go straight to John 3:16, right? That says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. And what y'all don't know is how to study the Bible. Who shall he teach? Who shall he give knowledge? And I'm paraphrasing. He said, except for those weaned from the breast, drawn from the breast, weaned off of milk. For if you're going to learn this Bible, this is what the Bible says how to learn it. You must be line upon line, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. Line upon line, precept upon precept. So you cannot take one tiny scripture out the Bible and just say, this is what it means. That's the dumbest thing in the world. That's why y'all believe the Most High is a horrible adulterer. That y'all believe that because y'all say that Mary got pregnant by the Holy Spirit. Kyle, my con, sir.
We got a fake Israelite with Israel on the back of his name that said, all that good teaching, then say black, Hispanic, and Native American. Where that in the Bible? So he don't think that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the chosen people.
Here's another dummy right here. That's why we say at the beginning of our classes, we are not affiliated with anybody else. What you want to do, brother, and what you really want to do is you want to go back and you want to study in, I'm going to say 2 Kings. Go in 2 Kings and start studying how the Assyrians took the 10 northern tribes out of Israel. Out of the areas of Samaria and places like that. Took them out. Put them in the northern captivity. And then you want to go and study in the Apocrypha how, and when coming out of that northern captivity, those 10 tribes removed themselves to a place where no man had ever gone, had ever been. As if they could, keep the law, statute, commandments over there when they didn't keep it in their own land. And you understand why we say so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. If you want anything more and you dispute the doggone 12-tribe chart that we put, then you can get a hold of Captain Katazar. How about that? You can get a hold of Captain Katazar and let him explain it, since he's the one of the historians in the school. I'm gonna give you the plug. Get a hold of Captain Katazar if you think you got a beef with any of that. But anyway, back to our topic. You see, we're not afraid of your questions, but back to our topic. John 3:16 does not mean God loves everybody. And I'm going to take a little time to show this to you. We're going to John 3, verse 14. Now I'm going to read this slow so that those of you who used to should have been riding the yellow bus, the small yellow bus, right, can get it. Here we go. John 3, verse 14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness. You understand? Guess what? This is called the preamble. This is the preamble to John 3:16. This is what comes right before John 3:16. It tells you what John 3:16 is really talking about. We're going to say it again. John 3:14. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness. Stop. When you see a phrase that says, as something, this means in the exact manner, for the same reason, for the same causes. All right? So we say, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, in the manner that Moses lifted up the serpent. The reason Moses lifted up this serpent, and to whom he was lifting this serpent up to. In other words, then it say, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. So, as whatever reason Moses was lifting up the serpent in the wilderness, you have to go back now. You have to go back and read that story if you really want to know. I don't know why your preachers don't teach you this, black folk. I don't know why whinings and whinings, whatever they call the whining boys over there. I don't know why over at Old Prince of Peace, not Prince of Peace, but Old Joy Road. I don't know why my cousin and them don't teach you this. You see that? I don't know why they don't teach you this. What's his name? I can't even think of his name. I talk about him so much. I don't know why them preachers, them big time preachers in Detroit, don't teach you this. But look at here. We're going to come back to John. But let's go find what is John talking about when he said, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness. What is John talking about? This is why you say, watch this, stuff like this is the reason you celebrate their holidays. Because your preacher don't teach you what the Bible say. So we finna go over here in the Old Testament. You know, Jesus said those things that was written aforetime was written for our learning. The New Testament, that's what the New Testament says about the Old Testament. So, what we're going to do, we're going to go over here and search out lift serpent. See what we get. That one didn't bring nothing back. Let's try this one. Because it's right there. It's right there for you to learn. I want you to go to Numbers 21. That's where we're going to go. We're going to go to Numbers 21. We're going to take care of that right now. And we're going to show you what John 3:14 was talking about, which is the preamble to John 3:16. Now watch this. This is Numbers 21. Is that right? Okay, here we go. This is John 21:5. And the people spake against God and against Moses, wherefore have ye brought us out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? For there is no bread, neither is there any water, and our soul loatheth this light bread. You see that? And you know what they call that light bread? They were talking about that manna. They were talking about that manna, this light bread. But what it is, what happened, first of all, we got to say, who is this talking against Moses? Everybody knows it's the children of Israel. Everybody know it's the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Everybody know it's the 12 tribes talking smack against God and against Israel. That's you, black man. You Native American man. You Latino man. And you're doing it because you're women in your ear, right? So that's you, sister, and sister, and sister. That's y'all. And these are the children of Israel. And look what happened to them when they started talking smack. Verse 6. And the Lord sent fiery serpents among the people, and they bit the people, and much people of Israel died. The people were dying. You understand? Therefore the people, verse 7, came unto Moses, saying, we have sinned, we have spoken against the Lord and against thee. Pray unto the Lord that he take away the serpents from us. And Moses prayed for the people, verse 8. And the Lord said unto Moses, make thee a fiery serpent, and set it upon a pole. And it shall come to pass that everyone that is bitten, when he looketh upon it, shall live. And Moses made a serpent of brass, and he put it upon a pole. And it came to pass that if a serpent had bitten any man, when he beheld the serpent of brass, he lived. This is the same thing that's going on in John, the 3rd chapter. The children of Israel, watch this. The children of Israel so out of whack with the Lord during the time of Yahweh, when Yahweh shall walk the earth. That's why Nicodemus understood what he said when he said, even as Moses lifted up the serpent. Now, who did Moses lift that serpent up to? He lifted up in front of the children of Israel who have been bitten by the fiery serpents that the Most High sent among them. So, and that's in the same sense, Yahushua was going to be lifted up to the children of Israel, and they look upon him, they shall live. Now in the Old Testament, they just had the look. But watch it in the New Testament, when we look up on Yahushua, when I was out there in the world before I came into the truth and looked up and been crying and begging to the Most High to tell me what the truth was, and he showed me Yahushua lifted up in these scriptures for my sins, then I knew the only thing I can do after that is what? Obey the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. Because even the book of Hebrews tell you that once you've been brought into the truth and you've been forgiven, you will be forgiven. You come into this truth, you will be forgiven. But if you leave it, and you go back to doing that same old garbage you was doing before, them same old sins, there remains no more sacrifice. Your crown is gone. Your crown is gone. Coming into the truth now puts you into position to earn a crown, to earn a place in the leadership. But you're too busy keeping holidays. You understand? You're too busy keeping holidays. You're too busy being like your oppressor. Now, you know Sunday is named, we're going back over to that. Sunday is named, it got its name from people worshiping the sun. It was called Venerable Day of the Sun. It was called Venerable Day of the Sun. The Catholic coined that term, Venerable Day of the Sun. But there's always been sun worship. All the way back when we first came out of Egypt, we ran into people worshiping the sun. Here we are, thousands of years later, after all the warning the Most High gave us, and you're still in church every Sunday. You're still worshiping the sun. And you're wondering why you on the bottom. Come on. You say you know the 10 Commandments. You say you know the 4th of the 10 Commandments. You say remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And you know what you do from Friday night to Sunday evening? You know what you do? You turn into an orgy. A wild, debaucherous time. You know what you do? You commit LGBTQ acts. You see that? This is the time that the Most High set aside for us to rest, and pay attention to him. Holy. He called it a holy convocation. We should be coming together, worshiping him, studying and learning more about his word. But no, you want to wait until the first day of the week, until the venerable day of the sun. That's what you want to do. That's why it's okay to go to the strip club and dance on the pole on a Friday and Saturday, and then you put on a little skirt with still got rest of your hoochie clothes on and go to church on Sunday and think it's all right. You see that? And think it's okay. And you know whose fault it is, right? It's your preacher's fault. It's your grandmama's fault. It's your granddaddy's fault. Why? Because they love pleasure more than they love the Lord. And they taught you to love pleasure more than to love the Lord. Your captivity was supposed to drive you back to the Most High. And you know what you did? You listened to Rev. Martin Luther King, Dr. Martin Luther King, and figure out how the way to have fun in your oppression. Figure out how to sin even more in your oppression. We got in April 20th this year to be a matter of fact, our premier holy day, Passover. It marks the day that the death angel passed over the houses of Israel and killed the firstborn of everything else in Egypt to force Egypt to let us go. It destroyed the Egyptian economy. It destroyed everything. The Bible records that it was in every house there was a cry because the firstborn of everything in that house was dead. If your husband was the firstborn, he was dead. If your son was the firstborn, he was dead. If you had a cow that was the firstborn, it was dead. If you had your favorite stallion and it was the firstborn that opened the womb, it was dead. It was found dead the next morning. We call it the Passover because by obeying the Most High, he did not kill the firstborn in Israel, but he used that to free Israel. And the day after Passover is the beginning of what? The Feast of Unleavened Bread. That is the first day of our year. This is our New Year type celebration. It's the Passover. This is the first months of our year. But you got something called New Year's Eve, way over in January. Now, a few things we can look at. One of the first things we want to look at is that if you look at the Israel's New Year, right, it's a time of spring. It's a time when everything is being reborn. It's growing again. Seeds have been put into the ground 2 weeks ago. They're starting to pop up. You see that? Everything is new again. It's a time when we re-began. The Most High didn't bring us out of Egypt in the middle of January, February. He brought us out in the spring. You see that? He gave us a chance. What? So our livestock that came with us, if they was calving and dropping babies, they were going to be okay because they came with us. They were going to be okay. It was the time of the year for that. Now look at your New Year's. They celebrate all over the world. January 1st and December 31st is a bigger celebration. And let me see where that comes from. And I'm not going real deep. I'm telling you, this is so easy. We just Googling this stuff. We just Googling this stuff. The first recorded New Year's celebration was in ancient Babylon around 2000 BC, 2,000 years before Christ. The Babylonians celebrated the new year with a festival called Akaitu, which was held in honor of the god Marduk. The new year began with the first new moon after the vernal equinox, which is a day in late March within equal amount of sunlight and darkness. And even you don't even honor the way your ancestors, your devilish and your Babylonian ancestors celebrate the new year. You see that? But you have your New Year's celebration. And your New Year's celebration that you use, you got gods for it too. Let me show you one of your gods. It's called Janus. Watch this. And that's who your God is named for. Your month of January is named for. Let's see what they come up with. And this is just, like I say, a quick Google search. You celebrate New Year's in January. January gets its name from one of the Roman gods called Janus, right? And watch this. This is a two-faced god too. Listen to this. Janus, from which January is named after, which your New Year's begins in that month. Janus is a Roman god who represents beginnings, transitions, time, duality, doorways, passages, frames, and endings. He is often depicted with two faces. Janus is the god of auspicious beginnings, and he guards doorways. He also represents middle ground between abstract and concrete dualities, such as life and death, beginning and end, youth and adulthood. Watch this. That's why you got in your New Year's celebration, you got the old man for the end of the year, and then you got this little baby to represent the new year. They both got hats and cigars or whatever y'all do. It's because of this Roman goddess, this paganistic god. And you do that in all your Christian churches. In all black Christian churches, that I don't know of one black denomination in America, Christian denomination, that does not celebrate Christmas and New Year's. But if you want to have the celebration we celebrate is Passover. Let me pull that up for you. Let me pull that up for you. We're going back to Leviticus 23. I'm going right back there. This is what you shouldn't be celebrating. This other stuff, I'll tell you what it's doing, it's killing you. This other stuff you celebrating, it's the reason why. This other stuff you're celebrating is reason why your favorite baby boy is doing 15 years with the Michigan Department of Corrections right now. This is why your 16-year-old daughter has 2 children and no husband to show for it. This is the reason why you 25 with 6 children, 4 baby daddies, and no husband at home right now. Because you're so busy celebrating American holidays. If you just if you could just put down the holidays, you understand? If you could just put down the holidays, the Southern Christian poverty, they say we are a hate group. But guess what? We've not killed anyone. All you idiots over there with them purple clowns, right? With them purple clowns, we haven't killed anybody. But I want to say, what happened to Joy Morgan? You understand? What about that brother that y'all beat to the point that he got to get a lawsuit against y'all? What about y'all showing up at churches 200, 300 strong and want to surround churches, and then little old ladies with hats and damn umbrellas and shoes beat the hell out of y'all, cause your dumb ass finally figured out, oh shit, this is not gonna look good on camera. Beating up on old ladies, you wanna know, and then you had to let the old ladies beat you up. You pull up 200 deep on four brothers standing on the corner, and then you so scared, you what? Call the police and lie and say they got a gun, they got a gun. And and guess what? If we did have guns, guess what? They legal. They legal in all 50 states. You understand that? You shouldn't listen, black people. We are different from every other so-called Israelite group out there. Why? We are the original, started in 1969. There's no group right now out there teaching anything worth a damn that was started before us. And most of them started after us, came out of us. Because they wanted fame and fortune. Guess what? They was Christians at heart from the beginning. There was Christians at heart from the beginning. And guess what? When the discipline of, watch this, when the discipline of obeying the law, statute, commandments to the letter became part of what was required of them, they left on our sites, and every time they get into a debate with one of us, they lose. So that ain't your only hope. Your only hope. Look at the condition you're in. So-called black people, so-called Mexican people, Latinos and Latinas, so-called Native Americans. Look at the condition you're in right now. And your only hope to get out of that condition is returning to the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. Coming to the Isupk under Commandant General Yohana and learn to be the Israel that the Most High want you to be the Israelite the Most High want you to be. You can't learn it anyplace else. You already see, we already blew your preacher up. What's, you got no business keeping any days as separate except for the days the Most High gave us to keep it separate. And we call and they're called holy days or separate days. Listen to this too. We're going back to Leviticus 23, verse 4. These are the feasts of the Lord, even the holy convocations, which ye shall proclaim in their seasons. And right here, I got a list right here, right now, where I'm looking at 9 different holy days. 9 different holy days. And guess what? Israel know how to party. I don't care. The Most High know how to let us get it on. Verse 5, in the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. You see that? And this year, the Lord's Passover, the 55th annual Passover, is going to be held again in Durham, North Carolina. Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina. September. April 20th is the Passover. But leading up to the Passover, that's going to be a week of oh my God. It's going to be a week of oh my God. By the time the day of unleavened bread get there, guess what? Which begins another holy period. 7 days of eating unleavened bread. Right after the Passover. Start the day after the Passover. And for 7 days, we're going to eat that unleavened bread. And there's a reason why. Let me ask you this. Why do you celebrate Christmas? Why do you celebrate Thanksgiving? Why do you celebrate Veterans Day? Why do you celebrate Memorial Day? Why do you celebrate Labor Day? Why do you celebrate the 4th of July? Every holy day that we celebrate in Israel has been sanctioned and can be found in the Bible. And on the 15th day, verse 6, Salakia, back to verse 5. In the 14th day of the first month at even is the Lord's Passover. You see that? It's the Lord's Passover. It's the Lord's Passover. That's why we celebrate it. And how do we celebrate it? We sit down to a beautiful meal. Guess what? It's not a whole lot of food. It ain't like we ain't gonna have no shrimp, crab, pork, or lobster there. We're gonna have lamb, we're gonna have unleavened bread, and we're gonna have wine. That's the Passover meal right there. We're gonna have lamb, we're gonna have unleavened bread, and we're gonna have wine for the Passover. You understand? And it's glorious. It is glorious because what are we doing? We know what we're doing. We're celebrating. We're celebrating and we're recounting and we're remembering when the Most High passed over us to kill the firstborn, the unalive, the firstborn in Egypt. In Egypt. It destroyed Egypt so much that they have never ever bounced back from that. At the time they had us in captivity, Egypt was the United States of its day. It was the world power. All roads was leading to Egypt. Remember why we was there when Joseph first got there. After Joseph was there a little bit, you understand? This is how we got there. That Egypt had all the food while the rest of the world was starving. Rest of the known world was starving. Because of something an Israelite did. You see that? Something one of the 12 sons of Jacob did. You see that? Because of a vision the Most High gave the ability of him to read visions, to understand dreams. And because of his direction, after 7 years, Egypt found themselves without a war. You see this? Without sending out one army, one piece of their military, Egypt became the most powerful country in the world. And everybody had to come and bow before Egypt just to eat. Oh, they were somebody. They were the United States of their day. They ruled the world in their day. And the Most High cut their throat. The Most High put them on their back, destroyed their economy. And he did it in a way that he warned them. And you know, a lot of people want to say Egypt this and Egypt that, but Egypt had 10 gods. They had a god for everything. And each time a plague came upon Egypt, another one of their gods was defeated. You see that? Until the ultimate, he said, I'm not playing with you. Let my people go. We're not letting them go. We're not letting them. Okay, watch this. Moses tell the people to get ready. Pack it up. Put up their kneading trough. Pack everything up. Get the animals ready. Matter of fact, since they don't believe fat meat greasy, watch this. Tell them to go to their masters and borrow stuff from them. Borrow money, gold, borrow stuff from them. Because some of y'all got masters that like y'all. You see? Just like here in America right now. Some of y'all got some good masters. Masters like y'all. You see what I'm saying? And you can get anything from them. So that's what they did. And then the Lord said, put that, he say, kill a lamb, one without spot or blemish. Take its blood and paint your doorposts with it. And when the death angel come, he's going to pass over your house. That's where the Passover come from. Where did your New Year's celebration come from? Why you do that nonsense? And no, we don't get drunk and have orgies and all that and go up on the mistletoe and go around just kissing people. No, we take this thing serious and solemn. It's so serious and solemn. Listen to verse 6. And on the 15th day, you see the Passover was on the 14th day of the first month. Now watch this. On the 15th day, the very next day of the same month, is the feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. Now watch this. The second celebration of our year. Watch this. The feast of unleavened bread unto the Lord. 7 days ye must eat unleavened bread. So we celebrate this for 7 days. Every day we must eat And now there's other places, right? It's going to tell you how to keep that. You take all of the leaven, that's baking powder, baking soda, yeast. You take all that out your house. You take it out your house. You can eat anything in your house that does not have yeast in it, does not have leaven in it for 7 days. You cannot eat any bread that has leaven in it. And watch this. Some people say, well, shoot, that's a good time to go on a diet. I just won't eat any bread. No, you must eat. That's what it said right here. 7 days you must eat unleavened bread. This is another holy period of the Most High. And at the end of that, we have a feast at the end of that. On the last day, we break that particular type of fast that we finish that off with a feast. With a feast. You see that? We're going to keep going. Going to tell us a little bit how to keep it. In the first day ye shall have an holy convocation, and ye shall do no servile work. It's a Sabbath. You see that? The first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread is a Sabbath. If it happens to fall on a Sabbath, it's considered a high Sabbath. See that? It's a Sabbath, so you won't do any work. We shutting it down. Verse 8, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto the Lord 7 days. And the 7th day is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. We started off, right? Well, we're going to eat. We're going to have the unleavened bread. But we're going what? Offer a burnt offering. You see that? We're going to eat now. We're going to eat. And then at the last is a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. You see that? So then we're going to end it with a feast. You see that? To begin and to end these 7 days. And these are our first two celebrations. See that? These are first two. Tell me about your first two. You got of your year. It's New Year's Eve. We're running that together. You got this thing called President's Day. That's crazy as hell. You got this. You see, we don't have a David's Day. We don't have a Solomon's Day. We're not going to have a Commander General Yohana's Day. See what I'm saying? But y'all got President's Day. You see that? We don't have a Jeroboam Day. We don't have a King Saul Day. We don't have a King of Israel Day. Everything belongs to the Most High. But y'all got President's Day, so we're going to skip that and go to your next so-called holiday. Y'all know what it is, Valentine's Day. So let's see where that mess comes from. Why do y'all celebrate Valentine's Day? We gave you 2 of our holidays. We coming to your second holiday. Matter of fact, I've given you 3, the Sabbath, Passover, and unleavened bread, right? So let's get to yours, and let's find out what is the origination, if I could, of Valentine's Day. And those who haven't studied this, man, y'all gonna be surprised. Watch this. Again, a quick Google search. This we ain't even doing no deep dive in here. It's just quick, off the cuff searching. The most common explanation for how Valentine's Day came to be is the ancient festival of Lupercalia, a raucous, wine-fueled fertility rite in which Roman men watch this, in which Roman men and women paired off. This theory has appeared in news articles for decades. Now, let me go a little bit further. Let me go a little bit further. Lupercalia was celebrated for centuries in the middle of February, and eventually, as the Roman Empire became less pagan, don't know what in the world is going on with my phone. We keep changing pages. I don't know. I've been told since I've been here, I am watched by the system. Maybe they don't want y'all to know this. And it keeps changing. And it keeps changing. And maybe they're trying to stop giving this to me free. You see what I'm saying? Then they got something about some guy named Valentine who was a Roman priest. They got all kind of stuff. But Lupercalia is associated with two brothers that was raised by wolves that suckled from a she-wolf when they was, I don't know, lost or something. Somehow they ended up in the woods, and some she-wolf suckled them. One was named Remus, and the other one was named, what was it, Romulus? It say, in Roman mythology, Romulus and Remus are twin brothers whose story tell of the events that led to the founding city of Rome, the Roman kingdom. The image of a she-wolf suckling the twins in their infancy has been a symbol of the city of Rome in ancient Rome. Lupercalia is also associated with these folks right here. This is where it comes from. Two babies, Roman mythology. This is your Valentine's Day. Pagan, pagan, pagan. This is what your Christian church, everything about the Christian church is pagan. Let me put it to you that way. Every holiday they endorse has a pagan origin. Yes, including the Easter Sunday morning. It's Sunday morning, Easter Sunday. Why is there Easter always on a Sunday? There's never been an Easter Monday. There's never been a Easter Tuesday, Wednesday. You see what I'm saying? And yet, watch this. Passover can fall on any day of the week. Passover might be on a Thursday, depending on how holidays fall out for that year. It's always the 14th day of what? The second month. Whatever the 14th day of the first month, whatever the 14th day of the first month is, guess what? That's going to be our Passover. But what about your Easter? Easter you say, well, our Easter moves, yeah. It's going to be some Sunday in March, or it can be some Sunday in April. But it's going to always be a Sunday. I don't care how you count and all that. Somehow Easter is never on Thursday. So you know Easter has nothing to do with the Bible or the Most High. You see that? It has nothing to do with us as a people, Israelites. And so what they say when they celebrate Christmas, that they celebrating Jesus' birthday. And when they celebrating Easter, they celebrating his resurrection from the grave. And they, you know what? They only get that because of the mistranslation of the word Passover in the New Testament one time. And so now, and it wasn't a mistranslation, it was the deliberately assigning the word Easter because they wanted to keep that pagan celebration. They wanted to keep that, and so they just attached it to the word Passover in the New Testament. You better believe you can blame your Catholic Church for that, just like you can blame your Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church even take credit for changing God's day, the holy day. They tell you it's wrong. Black people, Native Americans, my Latina brothers and sisters. When a power tells you that they change a particular thing in the Bible, and you still, and it's search it out. Simple Google search. Did the Catholics change the Sabbath to Sunday? Simple Google search, right? Did Catholics, and I know it sounds like, but look, we got the Bible. We got the Bible. Nothing Christians do are in line with the Bible. Your whole history, if I could, that keeps your whole history, you've been on the bottom because you've been disobeying the law, statutes, commandments in the Bible. That's why you've been on the bottom. That's why you can't never get ahead, except for what? A handful of us. And those handful is just enough to keep you searching or chasing after the dollar. You chase the dollar more than you chase the truth. You chase the dollar before you would chase obeying the Most High, before you would chase after the Lord. That's your problem. You've been in this captivity so long, been around these Edomites so long and these other nations so long that you believe the little trinkets that they got is some type of great success. And even Yahushua asked the question, what profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his soul? You understand? How many people you think are going to become professional basketball players in any one given year? In all the brothers in college, playing college ball, in any given year, what percentage of those brothers go pro? Even with all these new so-called pro leagues. And you know they're making these G leagues and all of that simply to keep you in captivity, to keep you changed. Well, I might not make $1 million, but shoot, playing ball, do what you like. If you're going to get a job, it might be what you like. I like playing ball. I can still make $100,000 a year playing in this minor league or that league. It's still pro. And who knows? If I keep getting better and better, they'll bring me all the way up to the big dance. Don't get me wrong, the Major League Baseball had that system in place a long, long time. They've been doing that a long, long time. And it's still the percentage of brothers out of high school that make it to them to getting paid pro ball, very little. And yet we chase it. Very few football, very few basketball. Any given time, how many so-called black Latino or Native Americans do you see playing pro tennis? And yet, because those few people have gotten millions of dollars, which are nothing, the dollar is not worth 2 dead flies. You do know that. But for money, for mammon, your love for money is the root of all the evil that's in your life. You see that? Let me get to that question. Did Catholics change the Sabbath? Now, I want to get something that, this is the first thing I'm going to read to you. This is what Google brought back. At the beginning of the 2nd century, the church father Ignatius of Antioch approved non-observance of the Sabbath. I mean, he approved that you don't keep the Sabbath. The now majority practice of Christians is to observe Sunday, called the Lord's Day, rather than the Jewish seventh-day Sabbath. Okay? Now, I'm reading from a website called, if I can get to the top of it, and this is crazy. The Catholic Answers. This is the Catholic website that gives Catholic answers to your questions. The question was, did the Catholics change the Sabbath to where we now worship on, where most folks worship on Sunday? This is one of the answers. A Catholic can be confident he should worship on Sunday because that is what the apostles did since Christ. By his authority as the Son of Man, both had and used the power to change the Sabbath. You know, that's a bunch of crock, right? That's a bunch of garbage. That's a bunch of garbage. Let me take you up here to what real answer is. Many Seventh-day Adventists were, this is where the Catholic tell the truth. Many Seventh-day Adventists were at World's Youth Day 1993 trying to pull Catholics out of the church. Adventists believe the Catholic Church to be the whore of Babylon. Well, they're kind of right. Spoken in of Revelation 18:4, where this is not the one. This is not the article I want. This is not the one. There's a writing that the Catholics did themselves. There's a magazine that the Catholics did themselves that said Protestants are not Protestants at all, because Protestant mean to be protest, to be in protest too. And they said they're not Protestants at all, but they're really rear-headed stepchildren of the same father. And that, you ask them why they say that. They said because all Protestants worship on Sunday, with the exception of the Seventh-day Adventists. Every Protestant worship on the first day of the week. And then in that magazine, this was written about 1933. It say the only reason that they worship on that day is that it was the Catholic Church, without any authority from the Bible, who changed that. The Catholic Church took the authority upon themselves to change that. The Catholic Church took it upon them, and they write that. They write that, and they wrote that. It's in their literature, that it was by our authority and no authority of the Bible that we changed it from Saturday to Sunday. Holidays versus holy days. Sunday is your holiday. It's there because they worship in the sun. The first day of the week is called the Venerable Day of the Sun. But your Bible teaches you, when you read it, remember the seventh day to keep it holy. The Most High made the last day of the week holy in the 7-day cycle. In fact, days didn't even have name. It was the first day, the second day, the third day, the fourth day, the fifth day, the day of preparation, and the Sabbath day. You understand? But they gave them names. They gave them all their holidays. Every one of their holidays, you can find a pagan god that's a part of that. You do understand? You have no business keeping their holidays. Period. Period. we got the Passover coming up. But even before the Passover, watch this. Every holiday we have every holy day that we have that we keep, right? Every holy day that we observe, the Most High allow us to do it or gave us a reason to observe it. You understand? Allow us to do it or gave us a reason to observe it. Here's one that he allows us. It's called the Feast of Purim. This is in the, it's going to be before the Passover. And why do we keep the Feast of Purim? We go over to what? Esther? We go to Esther chapter 9. And what happened there was we found ourselves in captivity. We found ourselves in captivity. And under this particular king, if I could, he had a party going on where he sent for his wife. She refused to come. So he banished her. I'm giving you the short version. He banished her, and then he said, let me get a new queen. And they brought Esther to be part of those from which the king would choose a new queen, to be a part of those. Long story short, there was a fella who hated Israel so much, hated us so much, that he had laid a plan so that all of Israel could be killed. So that all of Israel could be killed, murdered, unalive. But with Esther in place, that plot to destroy Israel was revealed, and therefore we were allowed to defend ourselves. And from that day on, from that time on, we celebrate the Feast of Purim. Again, it was by the hand of the Lord that he used Esther and Mordecai so that we might not be destroyed while we was in captivity. While we was in captivity. You see that? So we keep the Feast of Purim. It says the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. You see that? We got other feasts we keep. The feast, we told you about the Feast of Unleavened Bread. The Feast of First Fruits starts after the Sabbath, sundown. And it's celebrate the 50th day. You understand? Leviticus 23, 10, and 22. Memorial of the blowing of the trumpets. The first day of the 7th month. Leviticus 23, 24, and 25. That's verses 24 and 25. The Day of Atonement. This is the 7th month. You understand? The Day of Atonement is heavy. Day of Atonement, 24-hour fast. Which of your holidays do you fast? You have no holiday among the heathens where you fast at all. But here's one, the Day of Atonement is where we fast. Why? Because we teaching our bodies not to sin. 24 hours won't kill you, not drinking water, not eating any food. It won't kill you. And the Most High even say doing that, don't look like you're fasting. Don't even look like you're fasting. It will not kill you. It's going to challenge you a little bit. Where's your holiday that's like that? Why are all your holidays and they full of debauchery? They're full of self-worship. They're full of idol worship. Every holiday in America, this is what it's about. This is the history that you keep holidays, the history that you should be keeping holy days, but you don't keep. If you just stop holidays, if you stop keeping these damn holidays, you will find you will find your whole life changes. You see what I'm saying? When you stop, watch this. If you didn't buy all this Christmas and Thanksgiving mess this year, how much money would you have saved? And don't tell me, well, that's when they have the sales, and so you wouldn't be downtown this past Friday having fights with women you ain't never met before. It just wouldn't happen. It just would not happen. Your baby wouldn't got shot in the face if he hadn't went to that birthday party. You see what I'm saying? Have you noticed the more birthday parties you have, the more people get shot? Every time you celebrate, every time Israel celebrate one of these unholy days of our oppressor, we die. We die. Holy days versus holidays. Holidays versus holy days. You need to get into this school. Stop celebrating this garbage. Every holiday of America, of any country, I would say, is rooted in paganism. Go ahead, sir.
And then the heavy part about it is a lot of them holidays is got something to do with sacrificing somebody's life on them days.
On them days.
When you end up having a birthday party, you wondering why somebody died.
Why somebody died.
Because it was a sacrifice.
Con. I want con. In fact, if you read the Bible, go over into I want to say, gotta be Exodus. Read the story about Joseph was in jail, and the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had a dream. And Joseph told him what that about. But some fellas Joseph was in jail with, they had dreams. You see that? And they were former employees of the king. And then when the king had his birthday party, what they dreamed about came true because Joseph told them what it was. One was going to be restored to his place, and the other one was going to have his head cut off. And that actually happened. Another birthday celebration. The king of Herod was having a birthday celebration, and John the Baptist got his head cut off during that birthday celebration. So you run around here celebrating your birthday when in the Bible, the only time they mention birthdays, Israelites come up dead. And you still want to celebrate. That's crazy as all get out. That's crazy as all get out. Why? Because you selfish as hell. You selfish as all get out. You want to be God, but you're not the Most High. You listening to your oppressor, trying to find your way to heaven, trying to find your way out of oppression. You believe if you become like your oppressor, then you will no longer be in captivity. That's crazy as all get out. The more you become like your oppressor, the more you show that you hate the Most High. The more that you show you hate the Most High. I'm going to get you a few more verses. If you want to, well, you can. Go with me over to Exodus 20. I'm going to show you something. Why it's so important. Now that you know celebrating American holidays is to sin against the Most High. I'm going to show you why that's important. And not celebrating the holy days found in the Bible is to sin against the Most High. Not for all people, but for so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. Why? Because we are the children of Israel. We are the children of Israel. All right? This is Exodus chapter 20, verse 5. Let me show you what you do I'm showing you what you do when you celebrate these other holidays. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them. This is part of the second commandment. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children until the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Of them that hate me. So here's the deal. If you love the Most High, you keep his commandments. So this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. We find over here in Exodus 20 that if you are committing iniquity, iniquity is sin against the Most High, then you are among those who hate him. Who hate him. You are among those who hate the Most High. That's why you sin, because you hate the Most High. You can open your mouth all you want to and say, no, how y'all do it in the Christian church? I love the Lord, he heard my cry. And then you go, all that nonsense. So if you love the Lord and you say he heard your cry, why are you still sinning by eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster? Why are you still sinning by celebrating, being the first to celebrate every holiday that shows up on the Gregorian calendar? You see? Why are you teaching your children to sin if you love the Lord? I love the Lord, he heard my cry. That's what you say. But the Bible say, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children until the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Of them that hate me. Your hate for the Most High becomes generational. That's why your son got shot in the face, right? Lived, went to prison, right? For the crime he was in the process of committing, then got to prison and became a member of the LGBTQ community. And now you want to know why you can't get Rayola, whatever her, whatever name is, to anymore to go to church. Rayella, to go to church. Because you taught him to hate the Most High. You taught him to hate the Most High. You taught your daughters to hate the Most High. You talking about, I ain't babysitting no more. And you the one who taught her to have 6 babies and 5 baby daddies. Because you had 4 babies and 3 baby daddies. You taught her that. You taught her that. And then when we come along, teaching the truth of the Bible, when we teach that, what? If a man lay down with a woman, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. We the one that teach you that if a woman sleeps with a man, that's her husband for the rest of her life, unless he dies first. She can never divorce that man. But these are the things you don't want to hear, because it's not sweet sounding. It don't taste like sugary and nice in your mouth. You see that? These are things hard for you to hear, because they are the truth. They are the truth of the Bible. You got no business celebrating any holidays. Historically, you go overboard. Look here, and I'm gonna let it go after this. We're gonna bring it to a close after this story. My favorite uncle of the time. Look here. I used to watch come the 4th of July, well into my adulthood, and used to participate in this too. Now, don't think before I came to the truth I wasn't just as stupid as some of y'all. Will go out the way to contribute to this nonsense every 4th of July. We take his little bitty backyard, right? And we would pack as many fireworks as we could back in that backyard. The louder, the better. The farther in the sky they shoot, the better. And we would, guess what, compete with folks who we didn't even know on other blocks doing a 4th of July fireworks show. Who could put on the best hood 4th of July fireworks show? We would spend thousands upon thousands of dollars. And you know what fireworks is all about? Sun worship, fire gods, fertility worship, rites. We would participate in that garbage. In that garbage. At the tune of, who knows, $10,000, $15,000. Just to have a competition. And guess what? My uncle got to be 27 years older than me. So if I was doing it with him in my 20s, that's some childish stuff that we was doing when he was in his 40s and 50s. You see what I'm saying? He was teaching me to do in his 40s and 50s. That's some childish mess. Ooh, ah, look at the fire. Ooh, ah, who can make the loudest boom? Oh, that was scary. For what? To further lead our children away from the Most High. That's all we doing. That's all we doing. There's nothing America has to offer that we should teach our children to want. I dare say not even their damn education. If you're going to give them the American education, what you do is you do it from home. Homeschool them children. Get them out of the public system. While they're young and tender, don't let them be exposed to Halloween and Valentine's Day parties at the school. Don't let them be exposed to birthday parties. Y'all know how it was. Y'all know how it is. How many kids in your class? Okay. Is your birthday coming? So we're gonna make 35 birthday cakes out of cupcakes. We're gonna make 35 cupcakes, put some icing on them, let you take them to school, and they can sing you happy birthday. Stop teaching your children that garbage. Yeah, birthdays is another holiday that we got no business keeping. St. Patrick's Day, come on. You gonna paint yourself green and drink green beer? And run around downtown hoping the Detroit Lions win the big game and get drunk? There's no holiday celebrated in America that is not associated with paganism. Is that enough to get you out of the Christian church? There's no holiday in America that the Christian church don't participate in, don't endorse. They endorse Halloween. Come on now. The Christian church endorses Halloween. I know you want to tell me they don't, but what is it when you say, okay, we ain't going to let the kids go out trick-or-treating, we're going to have a heaven and hell social at the church? What the F? You know what I'm saying? What the F? Stop it. You want to know, these holidays, right? These holidays start with going to church on Sunday is the reason our people is so crushed. It's the reason our people are on the bottom in everything. It's the reason why. You think I'm lying? Watch this. These holidays are the reason you don't obey the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. And you don't obey the law, statute, commandments of the Most High. Deuteronomy 28, and I'm going to get off of it as the Commander Joe Yohanan will say. 28, we're going to start at verse 15. Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Understand, the easiest to identify disobedience to the Most High that you do is keeping American holidays. Which ones? All of them. Okay, if you can accept that, hear what the Most High got to say in Deuteronomy 28 about disobedience to him. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. You don't have to live under curses. I know folks been on social media trying to twist it and try to get a semantical lead on somebody. Well, I'm not under curse. I know the old Christian mamas that taught y'all to say the affirmation, I'm the head, I'm not the tail. I'm above and I'm not below. And they both got y'all twisted. They both got y'all twisted. I read Deuteronomy 28:1 in the beginning. And it said, if you obey the Lord, he'll put you on top of everybody on the face of the earth. If we as a people obey the Most High, we shall be on top of, we shall be over every other nation on the face of the earth. We didn't. And here what happened. In 15, he said, if we didn't obey, we was going to be on the bottom. And therefore, we on the bottom. You understand? In this logical deduction, 1 plus 1 still equal 2, right? 1 plus 1 still equal 2, right? So, if disobeying the Most High put us on the bottom, wouldn't it stand to reason that obeying the Most High as a people will put us back on top? And we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, coming to you out of 1 West 125th Street, started in 1969, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, started in 1969. And under Commander General Hunter, today we go throughout the earth teaching the truth of the Bible. And that truth is the so-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans are in fact the lost children of Israel. And your oppressor is the Bible, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Shalom, Yasharala.